calls me Hanging Johnny. Away, boys, away. And they says I hang for money. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, they says I hung me daddy. Away, boys, away. They says I hung me granny. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, they says I hung me mother. Away, boys, away. Me sister and me brother. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, I hung me sister Sally. Away, boys, away. I hung me whole damn family. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, I'd hang a rotting liar. Away, boys, away. I'd hang a no good friar. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, they calls me Hanging Johnny. Away, boys, away. And they says I hang for money. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, they says I hang for money. Away, boys, away. 'Cause hanging is so funny. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, they says I hung me mother. Away, boys, away. Me sister and me brother. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, I hung me sister Sally. Away, boys, away. I hung me whole damn family. So hang, boys, hang. Yes, I'd hang us all together. Away, boys, away. We'd hang for better weather. So hang, boys, hang.
This story is about a sailor in the British Navy during the Napoleonic War. His name is Billy Budd.
By the end of the story, Billy Budd is hanged. You'll see how it happens.
He kills an officer, a man named John Clagger, and according to the Articles of War, that's a capital crime.
Death by hanging is clearly written right there in the book.
However, there are two sides to this story.
Some people say that yes, he did the deed. He had to suffer the punishment.
Others say there were extenuating circumstances. He didn't mean to kill the man. He was provoked.
And besides, the man was a bastard. Killing was too good for him.
Others say it was Captain Beer's fault. He was in a hurry to end the matter. He could have waited until the ship was home and turned the matter over to a higher court.
But it was a time of war. What would the crew have thought? Suppose the captain was weak?
Suppose they thought they could kill an officer and get away with it?
What price discipline then?
As you'll see, the issue is a little complicated.
It is August 1798, somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, off the coast of France.
Things are very uneasy these days. The French fleet could be anywhere.
Plus there's fear of mutiny. Aboard another ship in the British fleet, the sailors seized control and nearly butchered their officers.
They were stopped in time, but ever since then, captains have been more than a little nervous.
Remember that. It's very important later.
This is Captain Veer.
Edward Fairfax Vere, a man of great character and limited perspective.
Mr. Ratcliffe, that other ship, it's one of ours.
It is, sir.
Here's our chance to fill our hands. Hail her with my compliments.
Ahoy there! Ahoy! HMS Indomitable out of Bristol. Captain Veer on the King's business. Hailing, come alongside.
Captain Gradlin of the Wrights, a man out of Liverpool on the King's business. How can I be of service?
A matter of impressment, sir. We need one more good hand.
Come aboard, sir. Come aboard.
Fetch us a gem if you can, Mr. Ratcliffe.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Lieutenant Adam Ratcliffe, Captain.
Lieutenant Adam Radcliffe, I trust you've had good sailing.
Indeed, as well as we can with the French in hiding out there.
God save the king. You seek to impress a hand.
Indeed. Are these my choices?
Yes. Able-bodied and experienced. All of them.
Name.
Henderson Nathaniel.
Age.
35.
Show me your teeth. Yeah. Name.
Cooper Charles.
Age.
28.
Show me your teeth. No.
Stafford.
Age.
30? Maybe. Me old mom could never count.
That one over there by the capstan, the fair one.
Begging your pardon, sir, I prefer you do not take him.
Well, why not? Is he trouble?
Just the finest 4-out man I ever known.
Well, then hail him if you please.
Lieutenant, allow me to protest.
If you please. Our needs take priority.
Bud, Billy Budd to me at once. Hands dismissed. With your indulgence, sir, he's our handsome sailor.
I beg your pardon, but I don't know what that means.
You must be new to the service then, or else you would have known better.
Bud reporting as ordered, sir.
Stand to, Bud, look sharp. This man seeks to impress you onto his ship. You'll be under a new command.
I'll do what's needed, sir. Try my best.
Fine words, young lad, fine words indeed. I sure hope you mean them. Speak your full name.
Billy Budd, sir.
Age?
Don't know, sir.
You don't know your age? When were you born?
Wasn't born, sir. I was found. In a silk scarf, they tell me, on a doorstep in Bristol.
Can you haul?
Aye, sir, if need be.
Can you fight?
Aye, sir, if need be.
Can you read?
No, sir.
And where do you fit best then, Billy? Where do you belong?
Don't know, sir. They tell me I can sing a little.
Well then, Billy Budd, it appears you've been found once again. Collect your bag immediately. You have 5 minutes to say goodbye.
Aye, sir.
You do me the honor to sign for him, Lieutenant.
What was that name you called him again, Captain? The handsome sailor?
Every ship has one if it's lucky. The one tar everyone takes a shining to, good-natured, fine to look on, a sweet and pleasant fellow until you challenge him. I'll put it to you thus. It was dark times here on the Rights of Man. Quarrels, grumblings. You know what men are like at sea. But when Billy came, it was like a Catholic priest making peace with an Irish shindy. Nobody wanted to be his enemy. Everyone tried to be a little bit better. It was black times here, and they weren't. They will be again.
Here, sir, as ordered.
Is that all you have, lad?
Aye, sir. Since I came into this world with nothing, well, I think I'm ahead of the game.
Well and good, but be warned, Bud. Captain Veer is a stern man. He's fair, but he does follow the rules. You follow them too, and you'll be fine. You don't, and you'll be vlogged. Is that clear? I say, is that clear, man?
Yes, sir.
What's the matter, lad? Speak up.
Perfect and clear, sir. There. Got it out.
Why do you stammer, lad? Are you afraid?
No, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know, sir.
Well, Captain Gradling, it appears your handsome sailor has a flaw. He is like us, after all. Anyways, thank you, Captain Gradling. Good fortune.
My compliments to Captain Veer.
Farewell, then, old rights of man.
Hold your tongue, lad. What are you saying?
My comrade, sir. Can't leave without a good word.
Well, over the wall, lively now.
Farewell, rights of man, indeed.
Who would name a ship Rights of Man?
Is that our unassailable right, do you suppose?
To find wonderful ways to kill our fellow man.
Somebody's being ironic here.
Very funny. But this is how Billy came under Captain Veer's command.
You wouldn't have guessed it, though.
Billy lad! Billy! Here, now!
He's a jokester, isn't he?
Shut up, you throwhead!
Give it to him, Sammy boy, give it to him.
Yeah! Billy lad, you've been aboard this here floating sink 2 days now. Ain't that right?
Is it? Seems like years.
And lucky for you, today's a grog day. Right, lads? Aye! It's time for us to find out something. Tell me, lad, would you say you were a drinking man or not?
Drinking?
A little grog now and then to make the world cheery?
As much as anybody else. I don't know. Why?
It's time for a little ceremony we do with fresh fish. Are you up for a test, lad?
I don't know. What do you mean?
He means the king's orders.
Orders. Leave the lad be, Samuels. He's a baby.
I'll have to take it.
Here's the task, lad. See this here in my hand?
Well, why not? It's right in front of my face.
Billy's so smart.
What do you think it is?
Well, it's a cup. A big one.
Too big for you, lad.
All right. Aye. What do you think goes in this here big cup?
Water?
It's from the devil's own spigot.
Grog, lad. We fill it with grog. You know what grog is, lad. You're not a monkey's ass now, are you?
Grog is a drink. It's rum and water. We get a cup once a week.
Aye, like today. Right, lads?
Yeah!
Only today, grog ain't all for us. We share some with you. King's orders, ain't that right?
I don't understand.
Here you go, lads. Fill her up. Hands!
It's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin on the lassie's drinking gin, and across the western ocean I must wander.
Now, Billy lad, what do you think happens? What do you suppose the king's orders are?
Top-sided Dutch girl once a day.
Down, lads. It's this, Billy. You take this here cup, and you stand on one foot, and you drink it down without stopping, without falling, and without spilling one wee little wasted drop. Now, can you do that?
I don't know.
If you can't, you're a monkey's ass, and you get hung upside down off the bowsprit till morning.
That don't sound like fun.
No. Then you obey the king's orders. Simple as that.
Whole cup or the bowsprit till morning.
What do you say, Billy? Are you a man for the king, or a monkey's ass?
Give me the blooming cup.
That's the spirit. Up with him!
Hey!
Now, you get 3 chances, Billy. If you have to, you can step down twice. But once you start, it's gotta be one leg. Right, lads?
Yeah! One leg the whole cup! One leg the whole cup! One leg!
That's one. Come on, Billy.
Come
you can do
on.
this.
One leg the whole cup! One leg the whole cup!
That's 2. Now or never, lad. Show us what you are. Come on, Billy.
Billy! 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 It's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all my tin on the lassie's drinking gin, and across the western ocean I must wander.
As Captain Graveling predicted, Billy made friends easily. He worked hard, gave no offense, and was always alert on calls.
Crew, let's get this ship spick and span now.
He soon became everybody's favorite.
Well, almost everyone's.
It's time to introduce Mr. Claggart.
Give us a go, Billy. We're leaving sunny Mexico.
Round the corner, Sally!
Round Cape Horn we're bound to go.
Round the corner, Sally! Round the corner is a long, long way to Vallejo and Callio Bay. Round the corner we must roam. We don't care if we never go home.
Say, was you ever off Cape Horn?
Round the corner, Sally!
Where your ass is never. Round the corner, Sally.
Round the corner is a long, long way to Vallejo and Callio Bay. Round the corner we must roam. We don't care.
Never go home.
You're the new quarterman, our handsome sailor.
So they call me. Billy Budd.
I am master at arms. You will address me as sir.
Yes, sir. I am, sir. Billy Budd, sir. Sorry, I don't know everybody yet.
You only need to know me. Do you know what that means, Bud?
What needs, sir?
Master at arms. Do you know what I do?
Yes, sir, I do. Mr. Tapper on the rights of man. He was that.
Tell me what I do.
Sir, I don't understand. Don't you know?
Squeak! Remind this insolent mouse what I am.
Mr. Claggart here, the bloody law is what he is. He watches everybody, everywhere. He jumps on you like the wrath of God. If you break a rule, disobey an order, or even look at him sideways. The ferret creatures, the cat with all them tails. You don't want him as your enemy.
Is that understood, Bud?
Yes, sir.
Handsome sailor, indeed. I know your sort, Bud. I know all there is to know about you. But listen well. You get no special treatment here. No extra bits of meat in your stew. No comfort or grog in your cup. No extra time in sick bay. You'll stand your watch. You'll do what you're told. And we'll get along fine.
Yes, sir.
Keep yourself clean. Take pride in your duties. There has to be beauty on the inside as well. Handsome as handsome does. You understand?
Yes, sir. Glad to be aboard, sir.
I know your sort, Bud. I know all there is to know about you. Back to your work.
Not your lucky day, lad. Not your lucky day by far.
We don't care if we never go home. We don't care if we never go home.
Among the motley population in Billy's new world, he took a particular comrade in an older sailor who took Billy under his wing.
Scuttlebutt has it that he traveled all the 7 seas.
7 times running, and was rumored to have lived 7 lifetimes.
He was called Dansker.
But nobody knew his real name.
Nobody thought to ask him.
No, still wrong. Again, like this.
Can I ask you a question, Dansker?
Depends on the question, lad.
The other day, when Claggart talked to me, you remember?
Old Jemmy Legs. You don't want him speaking to you if you can help it, Billy.
What did he mean when he said that?
Said what?
You were there. You heard him. He said he knew me. Knew all about me.
Yes, I heard him.
That can't be true. Why, I remember every person I ever met. There just ain't that many of them, you see.
Don't go set yourself thinking about old Jemmy Legs, Billy. Mind your doings and don't go looking for trouble. It'll come looking for you soon enough.
He said, know your sort. What sort did he mean?
Tell me, Billy, you been to sea long?
Since my first whisker. I ran away from the workhouse one night, straight down the harbor, jumped on the first ship I came to, and never been back.
In all that time, did you ever see a man flogged?
Of course. Parcel in a piece. Make the whole ship's company stand and watch.
Where do you look, Billy?
What do you mean?
While it's going on, what do you look at?
Close my eyes if I can.
No. You watch the master at arms. You study what he does. How careful he counts. How much he blinks, or if he blinks at all. Watch what he does with his mouth. You can know all about a man by how he watches a flogging.
I don't understand.
Take Jemmy Legs here, Mr. Claggart. He stands in front of the man and looks in his eyes. He nods his head at every strike. And you can see every so often his tongue licking at his lip. You understand, Billy? You hear what I'm telling you? Well, let's try this knot again. See? Take the rope like I showed you. You put it over like this.
Dansker, look.
What?
Is that him? Captain Veer?
Aye.
It's the first time I've seen him. He's taller than I fancied.
Folks call him Starry Veer.
Why?
Watch him.
What's he doing?
Studying the stars. We ain't in his cabin reading those thick old books of his. He's out on nights like this, studying the stars.
To steer us safe.
Some say he's trying to find a new one.
Starry Veer. Starry Veer. Did you see him, Dansker? How alone he was? I know that way.
Let's try that knot again, Billy.
I wonder, does he have a wife and babies? What do they do when he's away at sea? What does he do when he thinks about them?
Sailors don't have wives and babies, lad. You go thinking about them instead of minding your post, you'll be drinking grog with the devil soon enough. Now here, let's try that knot again. How easy it is if you work at it.
He noticed me. I'm gonna serve that man fine, Dansker. Stand my watch, do my duty. He'll notice, and he'll understand. One day he'll make me captain of the mizzen or coxswain. Give my life for that man, Dansker. God bless him.
So there you are.
You have it now.
The pieces are in place.
Billy, Claggart.
Veer.
You can see where this is headed. Inevitable as the seasons.
Sure is Oedipus.
Certain as Hamlet.
But perhaps not.
Perhaps there will be a moment coming
Anyone at all.
where things could be different.
Where things could end better.
Where Billy doesn't have to hang.
Wouldn't that be good?
Ahoy there! Ahoy! All hands on deck to witness punishment! All hands on deck to witness punishment!
Master-at-arms, bring forth the prisoner.
The prisoner!
Several days later, Billy had a chance to put Dansker's theory to the test.
It wasn't the first flogging Billy had seen. Not by a long shot.
But it was the most important.
Anthony Jenkins. Yesterday, you were reported absent from your post. Upon search, you were discovered in the forward gun room, drunk with 2 bottles of rum in your possession. Have you any explanation to excuse your behavior? Master-at-Arms, read the offense.
All persons in or belonging to His Majesty's ships or vessels of war, being guilty of profane oaths, drunkenness, uncleanness, or other actions, and derogations of God's honor and corruption of good manners, shall incur such punishment as a court-martial shall think fit to impose to the degree their offense shall deserve.
Seize him up. Make the prisoner ready. Mr. Addington, the sentence is 10 strokes.
If you please, sir,
Mr. Claggart,
it's his second offense.
20 strokes. All hands, stand to. Mr. Addington, to your task. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 11, 17, 18, 19, 20. Unseize him. Company dismissed. Mr. Claggart,
Sir,
question if you please. The bottles of rum Jenkins was found with.
sir,
How did he get them? The stores are locked. Mr. Lindbergh keeps careful count of all supplies that come aboard this ship. He records precisely what is used for grog and secures all stores every night.
yes, sir, I noticed them.
Then where do these bottles come from?
Somehow, sir, the men still find ways to sneak them on.
I'll have absolute discipline on my ship, Mr. Claggart. Put a stop to it.
Aye, sir.
Very well.
A word, sir, if I may.
What?
The new Forditman. You notice him?
New Forditman? Oh, yes. The fair one. Bud, is it?
Billy Budd. Yes, that's the one.
Yes, I've noticed. He seems compliant. The men regard him well. What is it?
What he shouted when we took him. You heard, I presume?
Something about rights of man, was it?
Yes. Lieutenant Radcliffe thought it ominous.
Nonsense. It was the name of his ship. He was leaving old friends. You're far too suspicious, Mr. Claggart. You see the dark in everything.
I am uncertain concerning him, sir. It's my duty to clearly put that before you.
Indeed so, Mr. Claggart, but I'm sure you're mistaken. I believe we've a king's bargain in him.
Appearances, sir, are often misleading. I know many a snake hiding behind a fair face.
Indeed? Then give him a length of rope, Mr. Claggart, and we'll see what he does with it.
You're a thief!
Stop it!
Stop it! Attention! What is this?
He's a thief.
Mistake, I thought
What?
you were-
Silence! What were you looking for, Thompson?
Salt, sir. I was trying to find my salts.
Salts.
The surgeon gave me some for the flux.
Why'd they be in my bag?
It was dark. I
What?
thought
Leave
Why?
off, Billy. Stand to. Thompson, what were you doing below deck when all hands were summoned up here?
I was feeling sick, sir. I told you. Salts.
And you decided to go below deck without permission?
Sorry, sir. I didn't think it could wait, if you know what I mean.
Gentlemen, this is a man of war. We're near the enemy every day. Do you understand? We're fighting the French. We have no time nor safety to be fighting each other. Mr. Claggart, take care of this.
Dismiss. Salts. Salts.
That's what you told me to say.
I didn't think it could wait, sir, if you know what I mean. When did you piss away the last primal remnant of your brain?
He believed it.
You made me look like a fool in front of him.
Sorry, but I didn't find nothing. Nothing but clothes.
All right. We'll do nothing for a week, and then we'll see what's next.
Yes. Nothing for a week, and then we'll see what's next.
Go find Mr. Pogue. Tell him to give you some salts 3 days ago, and tell him to be prudent. Remind him I know where Jenkins keeps his rum.
Yes, sir. I'll be smarter next time.
Yes, when pigs fly.
But if I could ask...
What? Ask me what, Squeak? Why does it grow dark at night? Why is there bloody air?
Why Bud? Sailors come and go on the ship. Hundreds of them. Here today, gone tomorrow. Why Bud out of all of them?
He tasks me.
How? He don't do nothing he ain't supposed to. He don't go out of his way to trouble you.
He offends me. That's sufficient. Off of you.
Yes. I'll go see the surgeon.
Tell me something, Squeak. Have you ever been in battle? Close and fierce?
Sure. Yes. Same as you. Right here on this ship, too.
Where did you serve?
Port quarterdeck number 7.
As what?
Number 3 man. Powder.
And your duties?
I take the bag of powder, ram it down the cannon, take a step back, and raise my right arm.
And then you make the ball ready for the captain of the crew.
You know all this.
And that's all you do. You take the powder, ram it, raise your arm. Powder, ram, arm. Powder, ram, arm. Over and over until...
We win. I'm relieved, or I fall over dead. Right. Why?
Consider if you can, Squeak. At the time, what are you? You're no longer a man, but you're part of a mechanism. No more alive than that 12-pounder itself.
That's why we drill so hard.
And do you wonder, Squeak, what happens when the cannon is actually fired? The load flies out, soars its distance, and strikes home? Do you ponder that?
No time for that. I just do what I have to and let the rest be damned.
No, because all you do is function. You have as much volition, as much sense of self as the cannonball itself. There's something other than you, larger than you perhaps, but it's in control and you're not. You don't know what or why it is you destroy. You simply do, or you perish.
I'm drowning, Mr. Claggart. What are you telling me?
Sometimes, Squeak, I believe I am that 12-pounder.
I don't understand.
No, of course not. Then again, neither do I. Now go, and tell Jenkins when he's recovered to come speak to me.
Why does Billy Budd so plague the master-at-arms?
He tasks me, Claggart says.
Which, if you recall, is the same thing Ahab said when asked why he pursued the great whale.
He tasks me.
But that doesn't seem enough. So theories have been put forward.
Claggart represents that mysterious thing that Plato calls a natural depravity, which he then goes on to define as a depravity according to nature.
So much for philosophy.
Or Claggart is a man who suffers from imbalance of body fluids. Too much bile and not enough phlegm.
So much for biology.
Or Claggart suffers from a deeply suppressed homoerotic quandary, desiring to move forward, but held back by his Calvinist upbringing and sense of shame.
He doesn't ask, Billy doesn't tell, and everybody loses sleep.
So much for psychology.
But nobody really knows, especially Billy.
Last night, Dansker, I don't understand it. We were at mess, me and Herman and O'Reilly, eating. The ship was rolling more than usual, but not so much to bother. Well, there was a spell that caught me short. I spilled my soup on the deck. The deck was newly scrubbed and clean, but now there's this sticky, greasy little puddle. And wouldn't you know it, Claggart walks by. He looks down and sees the puddle and starts to step right over it, as if it wasn't anything, because it wasn't. He looks up and sees me, and well, somehow he knew it was me that spilled it. Smiles, nods his head, taps me on the shoulder with a stick and says, "Handsomely done, my lad. And handsome is as handsome does." Like he done before, laughs a little bit to himself and walks on past. Herman says, "You're in trouble now, Billy." But O'Reilly says, "No, he likes you. He was giving you praise." "Praise for what?" I says. "I spilled the soup." Herman says, "He's fooling on you. He's down on you." I've been thinking about it all day. Well, I don't know what's what.
You don't know what he meant.
He knew it was me that spilled it. He didn't grumble or stand me up at all. You know, ever since Jenkins got them 20 lashes, I've been as careful as I know how to be. Right and clean and giving no offense. I don't want that happening to me. So he's got to notice, don't he? Well, he's got to know me, right? So I think he likes me. He was being friendly, but in a funny way.
Well, think back then, Billy. Ever since you caught Squeak lying about your hammock, you know anything else seems wrong?
Like what?
Like, say your hammock not folded right. Your left shoe someplace where your right wasn't. Somebody by blind chance bumping into you aloft.
What does it mean, Dansker?
He's down on you. Simple and clear.
Who?
Jemmy Legs. He's down on you.
Why?
If I knew answers to questions like that, lad, do you really think I'd be sitting here, wasting the rest of my life away?
All hands to quarter for chapel. Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arms doth bind the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep, its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee, for those in peril on the sea. Gentlemen, let us pray. O God of might and majesty, whose beneficence and grace we hope to shine upon us, we offer our prayers. Hear us. Amen.
Amen.
Brothers, I put before you a problem which has troubled me for a long time. We are all sailors together aboard this great ship of war. With us we carry nearly 100 cannons of different size, powder, shot, muskets, pistols, all for one singular purpose: to destroy the invading French.
Not and to hang Boney by his froggy balls.
God willing, that too. And yet, consider what the Bible tells us. What does the Lord say in Exodus? Thou shalt not kill. And later, don't he punish Cain for slaying his brother? Clearly the Lord says he don't like bloodshed. So why do we make war? Why do we hunt down and destroy our fellows on this earth? Because God has more to say to us. In the 1 Samuel, verse 15, he says, attack the Amalekites and destroy them. And in the 4th of Joshua, verse 13, we read that 40,000 armed Israelites marched on to Jericho. The same with the Malanites and the Hittites and the Canaanites. Time and again, God sends us to war. But how can this be? Because, my brothers, God is not against all wars. Jesus is no coward. In a world where there is evil, war must be taken up against it. So some wars are more holy than others. A nation of sin must be cleaned out. And is that not where we stand here today, on this mighty ocean seeking out the French? Light overcoming darkness, good winning over evil. And our aim is clearly right in this. This is the kind of killing, my brothers, that God wants. And when we kill for him, we please him. And we bring honor to his wondrous holy name. And if we must die for his holy cause, then so be it. Let us pray. Dear God, who shapes our ends, you have led us into terrible war to serve thy needs and cleanse thy world. We place our souls in your hands. Amen.
Amen.
It would appear that is the whistle for grog, lads. Drink up and enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.
Mark well what I just say. In Amsterdam there lived a maid, and she was mistress of her trade.
I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since Robin's been my bride. I'll go no more a-roving with you,
to, bud? You're not on this watch?
No, sir.
Where to then?
I like to sit on the yard and watch the waves, sir.
The waves?
Yes, sir.
They're wind and water, Billy. Clear and simple as a rock.
Hard to explain, sir. They're all alike and all different at the same time. I don't know how to say it.
You're blocking my son standing up there, lad. You know where I am. Don't be afraid, lad. Why this fascination with waves? Do they undulate and make you think of women?
Well, no, sir. Let's see up on the top where they rise and fall. Some are lower or higher, or faster or slower, or smaller or bigger. But down, fathoms down, they're all just deep, dark water and very still, like maybe pudding on a Christmas platter. I like to wonder how far down you'd have to go to find the platter and what it looks like. I've told you, I don't know how to say it.
Exactly like people then, Billy.
I don't know, sir.
Seems to be a fair day.
Hi, sir, it does.
God willing, we'll catch ourselves a Frenchie today.
Hi, sir.
Have you seen battle yet, Billy?
Yes, sir, at St. Vincent, aboard the captain. I was a powder boy.
How did you acquit yourself?
Sir?
Were you afraid? Did you hide?
No, sir, no time to be afraid. No place to hide. I was wounded, though. The Minyard fell and a piece hit my leg. When we met with the rights of man, they put me on there.
Out of the line of battle.
The time being, it turns out.
That was good fortune, lad.
No, sir. I left good friends behind.
Did you enjoy serving on the rights of man?
I did, sir. A parcel and a piece.
You resent, then, serving for the indomitable? You object being pressed here?
I don't think about it, sir.
Indeed. Tell me, bud. What did you think of the chaplain's little talk this morning?
Sir?
Were you awake? Did you hear it all?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did. It was very good, sir.
Do you think he's right? That God is on our side? That he hates the French as much as we?
Well, I don't know, sir. It confuses me.
God confuses you?
God's thinking. I mean...
Speak freely, lad. It's just Sunday talk.
Why would he? If he made the French, why would he hate them?
Many live as the enemies of Christ. Their destiny is destruction. Read Philippians 18.
That makes no sense. Why would he make a country only to have us destroy it? If he didn't want it, why make it in the first place?
Because maybe he sent them here to test us.
Well, why? What have we done that he needs to test us about? I told you, I don't know how to say it. It's in my head cleared, but I don't know the words.
Because then all we can do is let God take us where he needs us. He shapes our futures so that we're merely tools in his hands.
But, on the other hand, it can't all be chance, is it? All accidents and bad luck. What would be the point of that?
His eye then is on the sparrow. Not a sin is committed, but what he knows.
Maybe. Confuses me too deep to ponder.
And his eye must be on the indomitable as well. On Captain Veer and Dansker. Even pathetic Squeak, don't you think?
Suppose.
And on you and me. God must somehow know we're up here having this little talk. And he must know what'll happen tomorrow. Perhaps a battle. Perhaps not. Maybe you will die. Maybe it'll be my turn.
Hope not, sir.
But it is comfortable to think so, isn't it? That God has his own plan and we're merely here helping him work it out. But for some reason, he put me on this ship. And then he put you on here too. Now, here we are. Floating together on this little world going nowhere.
Can't imagine why, sir. It makes no sense. Well, why was I put in battle, only to be taken out of battle, only to be put right back in battle? Well, why do things twice? And why me? You. We're not that important.
Because then, you see, it's not our fault, is it?
What's not, sir? What's not our fault?
What we do to each other.
I just try and do my job, sir, and be where I'm supposed to.
Indeed.
Is that all, sir?
If you're not on watch, Bill, you have no business being on the mast.
Aye, sir.
That's all.
Aye, sir.
Oh, and Billy,
Sir.
you're not stuttering.
No, sir. Not to speak of.
Come out, Squeak.
Mr. Claggart, sir?
Tell Jenkins to move more swiftly.
Aye, Mr. Claggart.
That's all. Waves. Good God, waves?
Waves indeed.
Good God, waves.
Might as well talk of the mountains of the moon, the molten burning center of the earth, as talk of the human soul.
Might as well ponder icebergs on the drift, or water lilies that don't get painted, as talk of the human soul.
Might as well cut into the cocoon or stethoscope the new laid egg as talk of the human soul.
She was just a village maiden with red and rosy cheeks to me!
Hey, 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 hi, ho!
Oh, she went to church on Sundays and she sang the anthem sweet. Oh, there's
Fire down below.
She says to me, you sailors, a bunch of bloody liars to me!
Hey, 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 hi, ho!
And all these are bound to hell to feed the bloody fire. Oh, there's
Fire down below.
Hey, Billy, you alone?
Jenkins?
Shh. Don't want nobody hearing us.
What are you doing here? You don't belong in this part of the ship.
Want to talk to you. Don't turn your head. Don't look this way. Keep working like we ain't talking.
What?
Just listen. You seen what happened to me, ain't you? That whipping I got?
You were drunk. You stole from sickbay.
Hell! What are you supposed to do on this damn ship from going bloody in your head? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I should be talking to you, Jenkins. Leave me be.
You were pressed, weren't you, Billy? Off that there sweet merchant girl? They just came and took you. No choice, not for a king's coin. You like you was some pig for butchering.
What of it? There's law. There's a war. They have to.
Of course they have to. That's how they got me. Dragged me right off the street. That's how they got Dansker, too.
Dansker?
Yeah, your fine mate. He ain't never tell you.
We don't talk about things like that.
A week before his marriage, Dansker was out drinking with some mates. And an officer comes up to him and asks, "Are you willing to serve the king, mate?" And Dansker says, "Not for a king's ransom. I'm married in a week." And this officer, the snake that he is, offers to buy him a drink to celebrate. And Dansker, like the baboon he is, he takes it. And the next thing he knows, he's waking up on this here privy with a shilling in his pocket. They say he up and enlisted, and the bloody fool believes it. They said when he found out, he nearly killed his master at arms.
No. It's not true.
And it's 3 years later before he sees his sweetheart. But she's wed with 2 babies and slams the door in his face. And he's left with nothing and been at sea ever since. Now, you tell me, Billy, is this right? Is this lawful? Is this bloody Christian?
I don't know.
And what's it for? What in God's name is it for?
For the king!
Oh, for the king! Well, why don't the king get his arse down here for a spell for 3 bloody years and see what it's like?
What are you saying, Jenkins? Stop talking like that.
And his lords and dukes in their posh little houses, why don't they get their arses down here too? We're drinking piss water and eating crackers with worms in it while they're off eating off silver plates and fucking their fat wives. The chaplain talked about evil and all, Billy. You soon see what evil is and what ain't.
Go away, Jenkins, or I swear I'll report you.
We can stop it, Billy. We can make things better for ourselves.
No.
They done it at Spithead. They done it all at North.
You're talking mutiny.
Nobody's gonna get killed if that's what's bothering you. We just stop taking orders till they start treating us better.
It won't happen. They just put you in chains and...
No, they won't. Because we'd have beer. We'd lock the bloody captain in his room. No food, no water.
To stay away from beer.
Easy, Billy. I'm only asking. I'm only saying.
I said you won't do this! Don't touch him!
What are you doing? Damn it, lads. Do you want Claggart on your backs? I'll give you 50 strokes each, you bloody fools! Now what is this? Billy, speak up.
Nothing.
Jenkins.
I don't answer to you. I don't bloody answer to you.
What is this? Fighting, Billy? Again? You don't seem to like our hospitality. What is it this time?
Jenkins was in the wrong part of the ship, Mr. Claggart, sir. Billy here was trying to get him to leave. Jenkins jumped on him. I saw the whole thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I heard him. Billy said get off before I have to hit you. And Jenkins.
Yeah, and Jenkins, he called him a bloody bastard.
Yeah, I heard him. You all saw it.
All right. Jenkins, on your way.
Sir, I was
After
only...
guardsmen don't belong on the forecastle, Jenkins. I won't tell you again. About your business. Next time, Billy, you come find me. You don't take the law into your own hands, you leave that to me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Keep an eye on your baby, Dansker, for his own sake. I believe your watch started 5 minutes ago.
Mind your step, Billy. For God's sake, mind your step.
You're a corker, you are. Old butter don't melt in your mouth. Thinking he's better than most. Thinking everybody loves him. Everybody wants him. He's so good he even got the captain in his pocket. Well, time will tell, Billy Bud, won't it? Time will tell.
And so we come to the fateful day.
Our story is approaching its turning point.
Things will move quickly now.
It is August 16th, 1798, shortly after midnight.
Tommy's gone, what shall I do? Away you high-low. Oh, Tommy's gone, so I'll go too. Tommy's gone to high-low.
For now, the air is cool. The sea is still.
And except for the watch.
Most everyone else is sleeping.
Veer.
Claggart.
Billy.
They're sleeping too.
And dreaming.
I'm standing on a high place, overlooking a vast deserted plain.
I'm running through dark streets. Maybe London, or the Devil's Own city.
I am sitting on the fordham. I can see forever.
I have a young boy with me. I am Abraham and he is my son. I know why I'm here.
I pass an old man vomiting vile liquid into the street. A whore is with a customer in a doorway. She invites me to join them. I run past under an arch into the dark.
I see a ship on the far horizon. Seek out her colors. 1,000 flags on every mast and yard, but I don't recognize any of them. Don't the ship have a home?
I have all I need for God's work. A rope to bind the boy, a rock to place him, a sword to kill with. The air is clear, mild, and warm. A perfect day.
I'm being chased. Something horrible is after me. It grows closer. My legs are no longer working. I'm moving through quicksand.
I am on that ship. No, not on it, but flying above it. I soar through the flags, in, out, above, weaving through them like a needle and thread, stitching them together into one.
I tie my son's hands and feet. I'm weeping. Now I hear a voice from above, calling my name. I laugh. I know it's God, come to stop me in the nick of time.
I am deep underwater. Monstrous, frightening creatures around me. I swim towards the surface. The thing grabs my leg. I shake it off. I swim harder. I'm running out of air.
I sing as I fly, but I am not me. I am a small boy and a small girl, both in one, and I am sewing the flags together into a garment for me.
But the voice is not from God. It says in a voice like rain, I am Nelson that was and is and shall be. I am admiral of the fleet, servant to the king and thy lord in all ways. Give me thy son.
I see the surface. High above, it's just out of reach. A man peering down watches me struggle. He makes no move to help me. It's Billy. Above, on the surface that I can't reach.
I am in this garment of 1,000 flags, dancing on the sea, across the water without sinking. I am melting, dissolving. I am becoming the wind and the waves.
I strike.
I'm lost.
I disappear.
My son screams.
My lungs give way.
I am the sea.
He dies.
Drown.
I am happy.
I wake, crying out.
I wake, sweating and out of breath. I wake, confused and frightened, but I don't know why.
The sun is breaking on the far horizon, and the story moves on.
It is a portentous day. The air is still.
A fog has crept up with the sun and surrounds the ship.
Nothing can be heard.
Nothing to be seen.
Good day, Captain.
A sorry day, Lieutenant. The kind that won't make up its mind. It thinks it's winter, but isn't quite sure.
The fog does seem to be lifting a bit, sir. Perhaps the wind will pick up for us.
2 days becalmed, lost in this mist. It feels like purgatory.
Yes, sir, although I must confess I have no idea what purgatory feels like.
I assume your remark is meant to be droll, Lieutenant.
Oh, yes, sir. No offense meant.
Of course not. That's what fog does. It steals away our sense of proportion.
Yes, sir, but realize if we are becalmed and blind, the French must also be.
We need a battle, Ratcliffe. A good rousing battle to occupy the men.
Indeed we do, sir.
There's no danger greater than a fighting crew with idle time on their hands. It gives them time to brood on their complaints. Had the men at Spithead been at work, there'd have been no mutiny.
I could order another complete ordnance drill, sir. Never too many of those.
Yes, do so, Mr. Ratcliffe. And perhaps this fog will lift. And perhaps we'll meet a Frenchie.
Can't be soon enough, sir.
Ahoy! French flag on the starboard! French flag on the starboard! French flag on the starboard!
Thank God. Beat to quarters, Lieutenant.
Beat to quarters!
Yes, finally!
What was you waiting for? Cannons firing at each other.
Muskets!
Pistols, swords.
Action at last!
No more just waiting!
Tension mounting.
But nowhere to send it.
No more thoughts of mutiny.
Something to give us purpose at last.
Release at last.
Pleasure at last!
Fire.
Noise!
Chaos.
Confusion!
Excitement.
The heart racing!
The mind alive.
The body strong.
Power!
Victory. Glory.
Death.
Quarterdeck cannon ready, sir!
Mizzen cannon ready, sir!
Boarding party 1, ready, sir!
Boarding party 2, ready, sir.
At my command.
I can't see.
The fog's getting heavier.
It's quiet.
Quiet as a grave.
What's happening?
Are the French still there?
Fog's lifting, sir.
Clearing up, sir.
Clear as day, sir.
No sign of the Frenchies, sir.
Enemy ship nowhere about, sir.
All's clear and quiet, sir.
Bloody hell. She gave us the slip, sir. Damn bloody fog. Whose side has God on anyhow? Clear stations, Mr. Ratcliffe.
Are you sure, sir?
What? Sure of what?
With all due respect, Captain, shouldn't we be chasing after her?
In which direction, Mr. Ratcliffe? We have no idea where she
Well,
went.
she must have gone downwind, sir, else she couldn't have gotten underway.
No, Mr. Ratcliffe, we're safer until we're sure.
But, sir, if we
issue
think
my command, Mr. Ratcliffe.
Clear stations! Hands dismissed!
We almost had to go there, Mr. Claggart, didn't we?
Yes, sir. I thought for a moment you might go chasing after her.
Your counsel hasn't been sought, Mr. Claggart. Do you have something for me?
It is my job, sir, as you know, to watch carefully over the men aboard the ship. A responsibility, sir, that I do not take lightly. So when I speak now as I must, you understand that it is not without some foundation.
I know what your job is, Mr. Claggart. What do you want to say?
I hesitate, sir, because what I have to say cannot be unsaid. Therefore, I would like it clear that I have good reason.
To the point, man, to the point.
I believe that as the men were preparing for battle, there was one sailor who seemed to lay back, to shirk, as it were, his duties.
Going to battle is not like going to a market. You can't fault a man for being afraid. If that's the most you have,
It
sir.
is not, sir. This sailor has been in trouble before. He's been involved in quarrels. He's been seen drunk on more than one occasion, and one of my men even went as far as to...
Why do you hesitate? Say what you came to say.
Again, consider I do not speak lightly. And had he been a willing man in the first place, I might think myself twice.
The man was pressed then? Good Lord, if we suspected every man we pressed, we'd never leave port.
But what he shouted and uttered when we took him, he mumbled this most sincere and treacherous comment about liberty and
Are you
rights
speaking
of
of
man.
Bud, Mr. Claggart? Billy Bud?
Yes, sir, I am.
That careless remark? I thought we had resolved that. For the love of heaven, Mr. Claggart, if that's
It's
all...
not, sir. Another sailor has come to me with a report of a conversation that he had with Bud. A conversation that I most loathe to report to you at all, since it speaks echoes of those terrible events at Spithead and Nor.
Mutiny? This man spoke of mutiny? I can hardly believe that.
Aye, sir, but nevertheless,
Who was it told you this, Mr. Claggart? Who was it Bud spoke to?
cannot say, sir. In exchange for his confession, I promised I would protect him.
And this is all the evidence you have? This hearsay which you now bring to me secondhand and anonymous? I do not like this, Mr. Claggart. It's all too slippery and loose.
I can only bring to you what I suspect, sir, from experience. The next step, of course, is in your hands.
Well then. Wilkes! Wilkes! To me!
Sir,
Do you know Billy Bud, the Fortipman?
I do, sir. Who don't?
Find him for me.
He'll be in his hammock or on the floor.
Make sure he's alone when you speak to him. I want none of this to be spread about.
What am I supposed to say to him?
Meet me in my cabin immediately. That is all. Make sure none of this is seen or heard, on your honor.
Sir,
You will join me there. You'll present your case and see what Bud has to say. And mind you, sir, I believe him innocent. You have a long way to go to convince me otherwise.
Sir, I can only do my job.
I hope that's what this is, Mr. Claggart. I want no personal vendettas aboard my ship.
Now it comes.
The final confrontation.
Billy,
Claggart,
Veer, good,
evil,
judgment, heart,
arm.
mind.
Whatever you make of them.
But can you imagine, for the moment,
What Billy must have thought when Wilkes came to him.
It must be true.
he said to himself.
The captain has seen me. He's noticed me, and he likes my manner. He's going to promote me. Captain of the Fortip. My star is rising.
Starry Billy.
Imagine
now
how terrible it is
what follows.
He's here, sir.
Bring him in, and then wait for my instructions. And mind you, speak nothing of this, on your life.
I understand.
Wait outside until I call you. You will say nothing, Mr. Claggart, until I ask. Do you understand?
Aye, sir.
Very well.
Captain, sir, Bud, sir, reporting as ordered, sir.
Yes, thank you, Bud. I have a few questions to ask you.
Yes, sir. Pleased to answer them, sir. I'm honored, sir.
Honored, Billy? What do you mean?
To be promoted, I think. I'll stay where I am if you want me, sir. I'll do my best wherever you place me. But if I can rise and help somewhere better, we'll all be as happy as the dog what laughed in the story.
Is that what you think this is, Billy? That I've called you here to promote you?
If I can get above myself, sir, I hope so.
I'm truly sorry then. This is another matter entirely. Look sharp, lad. Stand at attention and keep your wits about you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Claggart, if you please, tell this man to his face what you have told me about him.
I accuse you, Billy Bud, of the following crimes against His Majesty. You've been lax in your duties. You've been unclean in your manner and bearing. In the recent call to stations, you've been hesitant and reluctant to the point where I had to threaten you with hanging if you did not take your place. And you've been speaking below deck to your comrades, accusing the Navy, the King, and the Crown of officials in their citizenry, and exhorting your mates to join you in a plot to seize control of this ship in illegal and treacherous mutiny.
Is that all you have to say, Mr. Claggart?
Aye, sir. I await his response.
Bud, what do you have to say for yourself? Answer if you can.
I...
Speak, man, speak.
But...
There's no
but-
rush, my boy. Take your time. You're not guilty until I say you are.
No.
Calm yourself, Billy. Take your time. Good Lord, man, what have you done? Mr. Claggart. Mr. Claggart. Wilkes! Fetch Mr. Pogue at once.
The surgeon, sir.
At once. In silence on this. Complete silence. On your life.
Sir.
Sir,
Don't speak, Billy, until I ask you to.
Mr. Pogue, sir.
Mr. Pogue, examine Mr. Claggart and tell me your conclusion.
Sir?
As I asked, Mr. Pogue.
He's been struck upon the head. He shows no signs of... This man, sir, is dead.
You are certain?
Of course.
And can you tell the cause of death?
From the bruise, it looks to be a blow to the forehead causing trauma to the brain.
Thank you. That is all. And speak nothing of this until I require you again.
If I may ask...
No, you may not, Mr. Pogue. Thank you. Struck dead by an angel of God. And yet the angel must hang. Wait in the small room, Billy.
Struck dead by an angel of God, and yet the angel must hang.
Odd words for Beer to utter at that precise moment, don't you think?
Beer seems to be in a bit of a quandary now, don't you think?
The French on the horizon.
Mutiny in the air.
The capital crime.
On board his own ship.
I'd hate to be in his position.
But he's doing the best he can.
he sent Billy to another room for now, under guard.
And he summoned a drumhead court to consider the case.
But surely the lad had no intention. It was merely a spontaneous reaction. Had it not been for the stutter.
Yes, had it not been such a surprise, perhaps...
Or if it hadn't been today of all days with battle fever still in the air, then perhaps...
None of that matters, gentlemen. The Article of War makes no provisions for any spontaneous reactions or any contingencies at all. If any man in the fleet is to strike any of their superior officers, such a person, if convicted, shall by sentence of court-martial suffer death.
But he was accusing Billy of mutiny. The poor lad defended himself the only way he knew how.
Oh, well, he could have done a number of things.
Indeed.
Written something.
The lad's illiterate.
He might have.
He might have what? Your thoughts, sir?
Indeed. Now that I think of it, I have none.
And it wouldn't matter if you had. The article demands a court-martial.
But with all due respect, sir, it says nothing as to the timing of this court-martial, nor the when or where or under which circumstances it should be held. Wouldn't a more prudent approach be to wait?
For what? The war to be over.
Until we reach a home port. Then we can pass the matter over to an admiralty. Let them decide. The matter is cloudy to us.
I thought it perfectly clear. In what way do you see it not?
We all know what sort of man Claggart was. His treatment towards the men was harsh and cruel.
But he keeps discipline.
He's been suspected of crimes. More than once it's been thought that he's been smuggling rum and other goods aboard and selling them for profit.
He was never brought to court-martial. It was all hearsay.
The issue is not about Mr. Claggart. And for heaven's sake, stop referring to him in the present tense. The issue is about Bud and his crime.
I thought the issue was justice, sir.
Again, must I remind you, we are at war.
Hanging Billy will not help us beat the French!
I need all hands at military readiness. We cannot afford to have a guard constantly stationed in the brig.
Of course not, sir. That is why God invented chains.
Gentlemen, can we not find a middle course?
Such as what, Mr. Williams?
Can we not convict Billy as the law demands, but mitigate the punishment?
The Articles of War say death.
Yes, but they don't say which sort of death, nor when such execution occurs. It could be days, or even years. Who's to say we're wrong?
But suppose we adopt such a course. Suppose we decide to execute Billy 50 years from now, or whatever ludicrous form this hypothetical sentence takes. What will this mean to the crew? What message will they receive from this?
I don't see your point, sir.
Word will spread of this. Make no mistake about that. My orders notwithstanding, I'm sure every man aboard knows what's happened. And how will they reason? Bud killed his officer. If he's not punished, what power does the law have? And if the law has no power, then why not kill any officer you dislike? Why not ignore commands during battle? Why even go to battle? Do you understand, gentlemen? The law is a dubious structure at best. In time of war, we cannot allow even the smallest pillar to grow weak, else the whole foundation collapse.
Yes, sir, but with all due respect, why the speed? Why so quick? Aren't we escalating the matter beyond its normal parameters?
The parameters, gentlemen, are the safety of this ship and our duty to the crown.
And of what higher justice?
Higher justice, sir, than the crown?
Mercy.
Beneficence.
Humanity.
Dangerous luxuries, gentlemen. We cannot tell the crew that they can violate the most basic acts of war and then find a loophole to be exonerated. What will they think of their commanding officers then? Of their captain?
That he is a man of conscience, sir.
Or that he is a coward, afraid to make difficult choices? What then of my command during battle? What price clemency?
Nobody questions your courage, sir.
Gentlemen, understand. I would like nothing better than to let this poor lad walk away from this untouched. Had you been there when he first addressed me, good Lord, he thought he was being promoted. You could see the joy on his face. And then to, well, let it rest.
Do you think Claggart made the whole thing up? It was all a lie, perhaps?
That makes no sense.
Why would a man do such a thing? He knew the accusation was as good as murder.
Who knows the mind of any man?
Good Lord, has this disaster no better lesson to teach us? Is this all about not knowing? Is this all about our perpetual darkness?
Believe me, gentlemen, I feel for Billy as you do, but if he were here listening to this, I believe he'd feel sympathy for our position, and no doubt even support our decision.
We haven't made a decision yet, sir.
But in war, gentlemen, such times demand the eradication of whatever nobler qualities we may treasure. War takes precedence over justice. Take in the final analysis just whose lives are at stake. Not just Billy's, but perhaps yours, mine, your crew and countrymen. In the most primal way possible, Billy's now a danger. We cannot afford not to hang him. I'm finished. The decision is now in your hands. Are we ready? Mr. Williams, your decision?
Guilty. Death by hanging.
Mr. Hartman?
Guilty. Death by hanging.
Mr. Ratcliffe?
I suppose it is in my hands then, is it?
Yes, I'm afraid it is.
Guilty. Death by hanging.
Your verdict is unanimous. Guilty, death by hanging. The execution will take place at sunrise. Mr. Ratcliffe, bring it about.
With all due respect, sir, I worry about the men.
The men?
Yes, sir. They will know the whole story at once, as you said. What are we to do about the men?
They'll be assembled to witness punishment, Mr. Ratcliffe, as always. If they protest, we'll deal with it. That is all.
Where's the lad now? Should we not bring him before us?
Do you really want me to do that, gentlemen?
We trust the matter to your hands, Captain.
Our duty is done. Thank you, men, for your time and courage. You're dismissed.
So, it was done.
A lot of talk.
A bit of equivocation.
And some terrible truths revealed.
But in the end, who was really surprised?
What happened then is a little uncertain.
We know that Veer went to see Billy immediately after the court-martial.
But we do not know what they said to each other.
Such conversations seem best left secret.
Or to the imagination of each of us.
What would you have said?
And so, Billy spent his last night alive.
Chained to a wall in a small room.
On a frigate of war.
Somewhere on the vast Atlantic Ocean.
Several miles off the French coast.
Couldn't have been smaller.
Or more isolated.
But he wasn't alone.
Oh, don't you hear the old man say, goodbye, fare thee well, goodbye, fare thee well. Oh, don't you hear the old man say, hurrah, me boys, we're homeward bound.
Billy,
Tansfer, is that you?
I bribed Martins to let me pass. I brought you something to eat.
No worms.
I picked them all out. Now this.
Praise God, it's rum.
Don't ask where I got it. How are you, lad?
Going to die come morning, Dansker.
Maybe not. The men have been talking.
No, please. Don't let them do anything. It'll go badly for them.
They don't care.
I'll have it on my conscience.
Billy, we have
No,
to...
Dansker. Here I've been all night, making peace with everything. You know, me and God, Captain Veer and all of it. And I don't want anything more weighing on me when I'm called.
Do you think that's what it is, Billy? God calling on you?
I don't know. It's as good a thought as any other, isn't it?
Maybe. I stopped thinking on such things a long time ago.
What do you think Captain Veer's doing right now, Dansker? You think he's thinking of me?
Tossing and turning, I hope. With nightmares that scared the bejesus out of him.
I hope he's thinking of me. And kindly, too.
You should be cursing him with your last breath, lad.
He knows what happened. He knows he don't got a choice, and he knows I know it. Well, don't you see, Dansker? It's all right in the end.
No, it ain't all right in the end.
He ain't alone. Not anymore. Me too.
I don't understand, Billy. It's too deep for me.
For me too. I'm probably missing something important, ain't I?
It's hard, Billy.
Got that bit of rope, Dansker? Well, the one for making knots?
Yes, why?
I didn't tell ya. But I've been practicing up there on the fort.
Damn for you, a sneaky Thomas.
Couldn't leave it undone, could I? Had to finish it. Bye, Dansker.
Goodbye, Billy.
Hurrah, fare thee well, hooray, fare thee well. We're homeward bound and the ship runs free. Hurrah, me boys, we're homeward bound.
We can't show you what follows, but you can see it in your own mind.
In any manner you choose.
Early morning comes as it always does.
6 bells on the morning watch.
A clear day, no trace of fog whatsoever.
A south-southwest breeze headed north.
The sun casting long and deep shadows.
For some reason, a flock of snow-white gulls hover above the high mast.
And everything is quiet.
Except for the sea washing against the keel.
The crew is summoned to witness punishment.
Billy is brought up to the deck.
A noose fastened around his neck.
Veer reads the article of war, the one you've already heard, and commands that the sentence be carried out.
And then, something strange.
Then nobody really understands.
Just in the last moment, his last breath.
His last words.
Billy calls out.
God bless Captain Veer!
God bless Captain Veer.
What on earth could he have meant by that?
You can be sure Veer wondered that too.
It's said that he never forgot Billy.
Indeed, that on his deathbed, in the dark sick bay of his own ship,
Wounded in the leg in some minor battle. Suffering fever and delirium.
Heavily dosed with morphine.
Veer was heard to mutter Billy's name.
Billy Bud, Billy Bud.
What on earth could have been meant by that?
They say that the measure and meaning of any man's life can be seen by the way in which he meets his death.
And here, all three.
Flagger.
Billy.
Veer.
Have died as our tale ends.
Each in his own fashion.
What on earth could have been meant by that?
I'm singing this song to the one I love best, and her picture is tattooed all over my chest.
Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry. Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry.
There's a picture of her mother tattooed on me bone, and the Union Jack proudly displayed on my tongue.
Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry. Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry.
Now the ship's underway and the weather is fine, and the skipper's abaft putting out a new line.
Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, cry. Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry.
Little fish, when he's caught, he fights like a whale, and he thrashes the water with his mighty tail. Hey ho, little fishes,
Don't cry, don't cry. Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry.
Now the crew is asleep and the ocean's at rest. And I'm singing this song to the one I love best.
Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry. Hey ho, little fishes, don't cry, don't cry.
Don't forget your old nickname.